A few days ago, you must have heard the news of King Charles's coronation and may have seen this fancy dress party too. King Charles is 74 years old today, and he has become a king at this age. That is, he is the oldest monarch of Britain. But wait, why is there a monarch in Britain even today? Britain is a democracy, right? Now, I have some questions. How does the British crown earn money? Does it even have any powers? And what does the world have to do with this? Let's find out in today's video. We bring the interesting things in the world in front of you in an easy language. If you like our work, then don't forget to subscribe to the channel. It is free for you, but it helps us a lot. Chapter 1. World's Biggest Thieves. Loot. This is a handy word, but you see it in the English dictionary. Why? The thing is from 1773, when the British, along with India, were taking over the whole world. Then after winning a war, wealth used to be stolen from kings and villages. And as a reward, every British officer was permitted to keep that wealth with him. But how can we call it a theft? Looting was the right of the British. So instead of negative words like theft and plunder, they stole a Hindi word, loot, which you get to see first in the book, Dictionary of the Hindustan Language. Let's find out a bit about this suit-boot-clad looting family. Let's find out what their lifestyle is. We'll tell you an interesting fact. When King Charles got married to Lady Diana Spencer, he spent $110 million on his wedding. This is a fact from 1981. This is the most expensive wedding till date. Princess Diana's wedding gown was studded with 10,000 pearls, whose total price was 95 lakh rupees. Not today's price, of that time, of 1981. Where does this much money come from? The royal family has three sources of income: personal wealth, privy purse, and sovereign grant. Personal wealth means inheritance. Just like your parents leave you some money, property, or jewelry, it happens in the royal family too. This is considered their personal wealth because this wealth has no relationship with the crown. It belongs to their family. The net worth of King Charles alone is $2.3 billion. The wealth of his wife, son, and siblings is not included in this. This is just his money. Where and how to invest this money is their personal matter, the details of which are not available in the public domain. The second source of income is privy purse or duchy. Duchy means such a land or property which belongs to the royal family. The revenue from a duchy goes to a member of the royal family. The member to whom this money goes, he gets the title of Duke of so-and-so. For example, before Queen Elizabeth died, she was called Duke of Lancaster. That is, the money earned from Lancaster's 45,000 acres of land and property went directly to Queen Elizabeth. Now Duke of Lancaster has become the current king, King Charles, and his eldest son would be the Duke of Cornwall. That is, they will get the money coming from the property of the Duchy of Cornwall. The total value of this duchy is $1.2 billion. Moving on to the last source of income, sovereign grant. It happened so around 200 years ago, King George III spent all his money. He didn't have liquidity left, but he had a lot of Britain's land. So he cracked a deal with the British leaders. Said that you use this land and give us the taxes that are earned. These properties are called Crown Estate. These include many parks, tourist sites, golf clubs, farms, and 15% of the revenue coming from these Crown Estates goes directly to the royal family. As soon as the position of the crown started improving, a rule was made that the money that would come from the sovereign grant would have to be used for official duties. But in today's world, what are the royal duties of a king? Hosting international guests, traveling, being presentable, maintaining big palaces and castles, paying salaries to the staff. All these things also come under the title of official duty. Basically, throwing a lot of parties and attending a lot of parties. The total value of these crown estates is $20 billion. But a few years ago, like Harry and Meghan announced that they were saying goodbye to the royal family, they just said bye-bye to this third income source. They will continue to get the first two sources of income for their whole lifetime. Plus, now they have the option to start their own business. Now they can do for-profit business with his brand. Crown's third source of income is quite controversial. Today, taxpayers ask this question: why should royal families' maintenance burden fall on them? For example, in 1992, Windsor Castle caught fire, and these poor people didn't have fire insurance. £36 million were spent to restore this castle, which was paid by taxpayers. As per Forbes, by adding all these things, the British family's net worth is $28 billion US. Chapter 2. Why the Royal Family? You see, in earlier times, the crown used to have actual powers. The crown used to play an actual role in deciding how a country should be run, what should be the policies of that country. Today, UK has become a parliamentary democracy, and monarchy has become a ceremonial post. But still, this post has an important place in British culture. Their currency has the photo of the current queen or king. Their national anthem also changes depending on who is currently the king or queen. When Prince Harry and Meghan got married, the expenditure was around $43 million, but the UK capitalized heavily on this wedding. $50 million worth of merchandise was sold, and in 2018, due to increased tourism, the UK benefited by $1 billion. Today, the royal family is a brand, such a brand where none of its members is allowed to do any job. Instead, the responsibility of maintaining that brand is borne by the entire country. The interesting thing is that not just one country, but other countries also carry it. When you go to King Charles's page on Wikipedia, you will find an interesting detail under his title. That is King of the United Kingdom and other Commonwealth realms. What are these Commonwealth realms? Commonwealth realms means such a country which is not the part of UK, but still considers King Charles as its king. Along with some smaller countries like New Zealand, Australia, and Canada are also included. There was a time when it was said that the sun never sets on the British Empire. This is a part of that bygone era. Just like the President of India is the head of state of India, similarly the head of state of Australia is the monarch, means king and queen. But again, this is a ceremonial post. All the power of governance rests with the elected government only. Chapter 3. The real source of money. If you look at the economic history of UK, this graph comes to the fore. Where UK's economy started growing swiftly in 1800, what did UK really do at this time? The answer is obvious. They colonized the other countries. Some people argue that the British looted a lot from India, but at least they gave Indians an efficient railway system. If you also think like this, then let us tell you that the British did not build these railways with their own money. Instead, they took their own money, bought steel from British company with it, made Indian people work like slaves, and built the railway tracks. Later they also took tax from Indians for this rail, and during Second World War when they needed steel, they conveniently, without asking anyone, uprooted the already made tracks, melted and sold them as well. Queen Elizabeth, in her 70 years of reign, would have worn this crown probably 5 times at the most, in which there are 400 jewels studded in it were stolen from undivided India and Africa. Great Star of Africa, 530-carat diamond, whose value is $400 million. The Rosetta Stone stolen from Egypt, the Elgin marbles from Greece, and the Kohinoor diamond from India. Britain has all these stolen things. She herself used to say that this crown is very heavy, is impossible to wear. Perhaps the burden of theft is heavy even for the best thieves in the world. In the Tower of London, Indians have to buy a ticket to go and see this Kohinoor. The British went away, but they did not forget the meaning of the word loot till date. Let me tell you an interesting story. When the British, in 1919, were firing bullets on the innocent people in Jallianwala Bagh in India, their per capita income then was the second in the world. The man who had given the orders for the Jallianwala Bagh massacre, on his return to Britain, people donated 26,000 sterling pounds as a gift. That's more than $1 million of today's money. At the same time, only 500 rupees were announced for the families of the victims. While making this video, I asked myself, what is the point of this video? Is the point just to highlight how useless the British are? No, the point of this video is to make you understand that the British preserve their past from their point of view. Conveniently forget all the crimes of this crown and make it a billion-dollar brand. This crown is a symbol of their glorious past for them. And for us today, when I see other people sharing stories of the royal wedding, I get confused. Why exactly we are celebrating? What are we celebrating? If this question confuses you too, then subscribe to us on YouTube. Because those who forget their history can never move forward in future. This is the question for you, the coming generation. Will we forget our history or take it a step further by making it a ladder? Conveying this important message to you makes a difference to me.